time to rev it up and roll with America's premier motorcycle talk show. Open Road Radio is on the air with Gina Woods and other guest hosts. And now, with riding on their minds, here's your hosts of Open Road Radio.
All right. For June 1st, our other guest host is none other than the Rainman. The Rainman is general manager of Michael Jordan Motorsports Superbike Race Team, formerly, as well as the founder of CVN, Cycle Vision Network, where you can catch this exhaust noise podcast as well. He's the Midwest Region race announcer of the American Superbike Racing Association, as well as motorcycle racer announcer for Daytona International Speedway for Bike Week, because he calls me every year about it. He can also be found selling motorcycles at Motorcycle Center Cycle in Villa Park, fresh from the Moto America races at Road America. Wow, did we hear news about that all
That's a
over
mouthful,
the
isn't it?
internet?
Yeah.
Please welcome Kenny Abbott, aka Rainman. Wow!
Hey,
and also, I got to put on his on his credentials, he also puts random co-hosts of Open Road Radio sometimes.
We did, right?
That was great.
We did a couple of years together when we were in the FM studios there up the coast, and then when they went to a all Korean format, we built a radio station in your garage.
Out of there.
So it was a lot of fun.
We've done live broadcasts all over the country together.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
great
fun.
to have you back. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thanks.
You have been so active. You've got a new podcast. You've been so active. This is the perfect time to bring you in. We've got a great show lined up. So thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. No, it's fun. And I know that's a mouthful. You know, I always have to think about it. It's Moto America at Road America. Or you say, yeah, it's the Road America, Moto America race. And people are like, wait, slow down.
Yeah.
But some of the, honestly, if for anybody, I know a lot of you have, Open Road Radio has fans worldwide, and it's extraordinary. But a lot of fan base here in the Midwest, Chicago, Milwaukee region. And for anybody that wasn't at, and this is the promo for next year's Road America, Moto America race. For anybody that wasn't there this year, number one, it was record attendance for all 3 days. Friday was packed. Saturday was incredibly packed. They and some of the best racing that I've seen from the Superbike and Supersport classes in years. So the racing is getting better. The fans are out of control, and it's just incredible. And
racing is getting better. You're so right. We've got we're going to talk in segment 3.
And what a killer venue for it. 640 acres of parkland. I mean, it just doesn't get any better.
Road America's a great
food is incredible. Yeah. I couldn't resist the food. You know, like I always bring an RV full of food, and you smell the barbecue.
That's all you need. You got fans all around you.
Oh my God!
If you got the food and the beer, you got fans.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you what, so true. And we're going to talk later on about so much racing is coming up in this month, June 1st. Welcome to June 1st, everybody. Tonight we've got a fantastic show. Speaking of, our whole month of motorcycle awareness and safety month has been was so great. We had great guests on tonight. We've got some fantastic guests on that did the run to the wall. We have New York Myke, Mr. Infamous himself, as well as Brian Gates. Wow, these guys have so much to talk about. Let me tell you, first and foremost, we've got an American original, a motorcycle freedom fighter, Vietnam veteran, Hall of Famer, and one of the most recognizable voices in the community, New York Myke Shelby. He did have a motorcycle talk show for many, many years. We're going to talk about that. Owned San Diego Harley-Davidson as well. From serving with the 101st Airborne during Vietnam to owning San Diego Harley-Davidson. From leading motorcycle rights efforts across America to riding thousands upon thousands of miles, 43 years to run to the wall. Honoring our veterans, New York Myke has been spent a lifetime standing up for freedom, patriotism, and the motorcycle lifestyle. He's been inducted to the Sturgis Motorcycle Hall of Fame, Freedom Fighters Hall of Fame, and has made the ride to Washington, D.C. for Memorial Weekend and the run to the wall for more than 4 decades. Whether he's advocating for veterans, American history, talking motorcycles, or sharing stories from the open road, New York Myke has never stopped fighting for what he believes in. And I absolutely love this dude. Wish I lived in California and did more stuff with him, because we have been friends for many years, and I've had him on the show. Another great friend tonight with us is Brian Gates. He's worked executive protection and celebrity security. I always say that I have the best job in the world, but I think that like this guy probably does too. You're right. I mean, every time we interview somebody, I say that. So I must be bringing a lot of good interview people up.
There you go.
He is from motorcycle culture to high-profile events, from behind-the-scenes stories to protecting some of the biggest personalities around. And we've got some great pictures to show you. Tonight, we're talking with a man who's seen the side of life that most people only see in the movies. True story. He's respected in both the biker world and the protection world. And tonight he joins us to talk stories from the road, celebrity riders, security, brotherhood, and everything in between. Ladies and gentlemen, let us present to you New York Myke and Brian Gates.
Hey.
Gentlemen! You guys are my heroes. And Myke, we've had you on before to talk about this fantastic venture that you guys do. Brian, you've been included with that. So happy that I could grab you and talk to you about this. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us tonight on Open Road Radio.
Thank you very much. It's always great to be here.
Quite humbling. Thank you.
No, it's really fantastic to have you both. So, gentlemen, you just came off of the ride. Wow. In fact, Myke, I think you just been home for 15 minutes.
No, I got home. I got home Friday night, but it was one of the best Memorial Day weekends that we've had. Brian, I don't know if you agree, but
I 100% agree.
Yeah, it was really awesome. Anybody that doesn't understand, we had Rolling Thunder since 1988. Now the wall was dedicated in 1982, and I was there. The first Memorial Day was 1983, and I was there, and every Veterans Day after that. And so we went and grew it and grew it and grew it. I'd say over the 31 years that it was Rolling Thunder, we averaged 500,000 bikes. 95% or more Harley Davidson motorcycles. So that's a huge thing. And then it went away, kind of sort of, didn't really go away. It became Rolling to Remember in 2020.
Yeah.
And
it's a change.
The AMVets took it over from Artie Mullen. And the Rolling Thunder moniker became Rolling to Remember, because we're remembering all the vets. We're remembering the vets from the Gulf War, and by the way, they're having their memorial and their monument dedicated on October 23rd. And those veterans have fought for 15 years to get that monument dedicated. But that Vietnam Veterans Wall changed America. It changed our lives as Vietnam vets. We were disrespected. The 59,000 names on that wall were disrespected. They were just talked about as if we were, and I include them, because they couldn't fight back. They couldn't speak back. We could, and they couldn't. When that wall came up, it became our obligation, our responsibility to speak for them. And that's why I ride there every single year. Veterans Day, Memorial Day, because and we call it a demonstration ride because we're demonstrating how much we love those guys, how much we appreciate their sacrifice. Just like every other soldier, sailor, airman, Marine sacrificed for this country. The Revolutionary War 1812, Civil War, World War I, II, every sacrifice made. There's none greater than somebody that gives their life for this country.
Absolutely. And, I've been to it twice. I went with the Rolling Thunder, Chapter 1 here in Illinois. Rode out there with them, had an amazing, amazing time. They were there was a commander that was this commander's brother who lived in Washington, D.C. It opened my eyes to so much, Myke. And speaking of that, for people who have never experienced Run to the Wall, what does that ride feel like emotionally when you arrive in DC?
Let me explain something. There's two separate things. Rolling Thunder, our ride to the wall for all of us. Rolling for the Wall is a separate ride that began in 1989, 1 year after Rolling Thunder. They ride from California, and then they pick up riders all throughout the country, and they meet us at the wall. Their ride is an amazing event all of its own. And over the years, there are people that came out. I remember going on their ride in 1990, left San Diego and rode. And the people that came out to have lunch with them, have dinner, have ceremonies, their children now come out. Some of them have grandchildren over these years. And they're an amazing group of people, very organized, very ritualistic. So our ride is just myself. For the last 20 years, and this is the 20th year, Robert Patrick has ridden with me to the wall. That's a whole other story. What he's brought.
I can imagine.
what he's brought, not only as a celebrity, as a human being, as a booze fighter. I mean, this guy is a biker through and through. And I just wrote a book. It's called A Harley Life. It'll be out in a few weeks. And I tell all these stories. And it's hard to go into it in a small way. It's like when we say on a T-shirt, if I have to explain, you wouldn't understand.
You would understand it. That's right.
But it would take me a month to explain it. It took me 5 months to write this book, and I've been editing it for 3 months.
5 months? Myke,
oh my God.
That's like a record. Some people do this for years. What are you talking
Speed
about?
rider.
Exactly.
I wrote every single day, 7 days a week, every day. And
thank goodness you're retired.
Well, not because I want to be, but it's, I don't think of myself as that. Life is about accomplishing things, being on a mission, with a purpose. I'll put it that way. And,
sure.
And as long as you have purpose and you're still accomplishing things, I don't think you should be labeled as retired. That's just.
I remember I was living in the Washington, D.C. area when the Vietnam War Memorial was originally dedicated. And it was a pretty big deal then. and they've added certain things to it, right? The women, they dedicated a second memorial for women that have served. And then I don't know if you guys have also been to the Korean War Memorial. Yeah. I was telling Gina before the show that a lot of people, when they visit these things during the day, which is phenomenal, and they're emotional themselves. But when you visit the Korean War Memorial at night, it's really eerie because it's really dimly lit with with the statues like 8 feet tall, walking with rifles and rain gear, and it's almost as though they're coming alive. The ghosts moving through the rice fields, and all of it together with the reflection pool and everything else is just really, really emotional. And I really encourage anybody that hasn't been there, whether they go on a ride or they go to DC to visit the wall, it should be on a bucket list for sure. It's a very emotional experience, and being able to kind of pay tribute to those that have given everything for us to do what we do.
I feel the same way. We had Jim O'Connor, who was with our show for many years, and a co-host, and he would go with his daughter. He would go every year, regardless, as soon as he became a co-host. And it was amazing, the stories. We would do live broadcasts from there. Myke, do you remember when I saw you there in the parking lot many, many, many moons ago? And
Yeah.
oh my God! And I was looking for you, and I came across you, and I went, "There he is, New York Myke." It's like so extremely excited.
Yeah.
Brian, you've worked with security and celebrity protection for major names. Why is this run for you so important? And what do you get out of this? And what do you want the mission to say?
Well, one of the things is I never had the honor to serve in the military and fight for our country on that level. So this is one way that I can give back. My uncle Ike Lewis was a Vietnam vet. I honor him on that ride. I have many, many friends. New York Myke and I have been friends for decades. It's an honor to ride with people like New York Myke that has served, and real true heroes amongst the ones that are on the wall that gave it all. In my life, I've met many, 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 many military heroes, people that support the military and do things. And so there's events that I go to, there's events that I support. GI Film Festival in DC for many, many years. I handled a lot of the security for people there. I worked with a team. I ran the team a couple times. Gary Sinise was there. Just many of the top name people that bring more awareness, and it's something that I can do to actually give back and again bring awareness on a different level from somebody that's not a military vet, but that appreciates and respects it. And I do have family that are in the military as well. But that's where it really gets me, really gets me. And it's an emotional roller coaster. I get so upset and distraught at the same time when I think about those names on the wall, those people. Morris's brothers on that wall. Many people that people just don't realize. Everybody's connected somehow, some way.
Yeah.
But like Myke said, they couldn't speak, but Myke fought. Myke, you have to tell that story about that whole wall situation when you went there. Please take a moment and tell that story, because I think that needs to be told, because you definitely made a difference there.
Let me tell you what needs to be told. How important it is that people like you, people that support us, the Robert Patricks, and that you guys, we fought a war. This country, when they talk about greatest generation, they don't talk about the soldiers. The soldiers are always the greatest, the boldest, the most courageous of all of us. But the generation behind them, the Rosie the Riveter, the cops, the firefighters, the school teachers, the people that took care of the home front, they were great because they supported those warriors over there fighting in Germany, Japan, fighting the war that saved the world. So the greatest generation back here, it's you who we fight for. You who are here in America, keep the home fires burning. That's the greatest generation. It
Amen.
Was not so when we were in Vietnam. It was the opposite. So I want to say, when I go to the wall, not only am I seeing other vets, I'm seeing them paying tribute to those people who we fought for, who also look at the sacrifices made and want to live their life worthy of that sacrifice, as I do. And when you talk about the dedication, when we were so disrespected and talked about as baby killers and criminals, and I'm not exaggerating. I'm being very nice about it. It was worse. And then they said, "Oh, we're going to dedicate this monument, this wall," and it was going to be black, underground, no flag, nothing. Have you ever seen a war memorial any place that didn't have gold leaf and the names of battles won?
Right.
No, we didn't get that. And it was still controversial. They were still saying, no, we don't want to have that. It was a wall of shame. So when we went down to that dedication, I got there the night before. I went to Clyde's in Old Town, and we're sitting there at the bar, and I look over, and for the first time, I see other guys wearing, uniform, a hat, a vest. I have my flight jacket with my jump wings. I'm sitting at the bar. Wow, this is pretty cool. We ended up closing Clyde's and marching through the streets, calling cadence till we got to the Washington Monument, and
Wow.
that's where I slept on the grass in not the rain. It was like a drizzle. It was cold. 7:00 in the morning, and I had a baseball bat with me. This was my turn to demonstrate against
Wow.
something. When I walked down, and it was all sand. It wasn't paved. It wasn't the stones they have now. It was just sand. There was an orange picket fence about 10 feet back. We walked over the fence. I'm standing there about 7:00 in the morning. I just cried.
Yeah.
I looked at the names etched in that wall, and I saw it, and I had not thought about it before.
Yeah.
59,000 names, and I
Wow.
stood there and embraced every
Well, and
single
that's what I
one of
want to
them.
say too. I feel like when I went there the first 2 times, the first time I broke down like a baby. I felt like I was at at a funeral, just being in the same area as the wall. It immediately gave me this not a grief, but just a gratitude and a thanks.
Energy. It's
And
an
don't you
energy.
think that most people, Brian or Myke, feel like when they go, you see so many people that just are distraught, from that, amazed by it, I guess, because it's very overwhelming to see that many names.
People from all walks
I
of
think
life.
it's significant.
Well,
I also think it's significant that when you're standing at the wall, at the Vietnam War Memorial Wall, that you can actually see Arlington Cemetery from there and vice versa. I don't think that was an accident. I don't think that it's, circumstance. I think that was intentional. But that's something that I remember, again, growing up in that area. I was there on a regular
Wow.
basis. When we had friends from the town, we were there on a regular basis. When we went downtown to see the monuments and Smithsonian and go to the mall and those other things, this was a piece we would always walk by there and see, and see people, grieving or, celebrating, the life of their loved ones or whatever. But you peek up from that wall and you look over the Potomac River and you see Arlington Cemetery and the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, and all of that together is quite an experience. And with everything else that's there, the Jefferson Memorial and the Lincoln Memorial and everything else that's there, and again the reflection pool and everything else, it's a really special place. And for those that haven't made it yet, it's
well, we
it
appreciate
should-
everybody that goes. I love seeing the Gold Star families every year, and
Yeah.
one of the major things that Rolling Thunder does is let those families know how much we care about their loved ones who sacrifice
Absolutely.
everything. And when I go, I look at the wall and I say, those guys, that was me. And I've lived all these years that they haven't. I had a family. I have children. I have a life. They didn't have that. Or since those days when we were all in our 20s, I've lived and they haven't. And I have to connect with that. And I talk to them. I talk to them as I'm riding to the wall. Sometimes in my head, sometimes out loud. And
Yeah.
I get there and
Love it.
and I'm looking at them and I'm like, what happened? What happened?
It has to be so rewarding, amazing, difficult for so many people. Glory Struck tells us online, my mom, Gloria Struck, and I rode many years to Rolling Thunder in Washington, D.C. I mean, there's hundreds and thousands of people that this has affected.
Love Lori Struck. She's gonna
Yes,
be
we love her.
101 this July. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bill Murray
Hey,
says
before-
hello and
before
thank
we-
you so much for bringing this show to light with us tonight.
Before we get, I don't want to be too. We go Memorial Day, and I want people to understand picnics, having fun, sales, all the things. Enjoy that. We fought. They died so that we can enjoy our lives, so we can laugh, have fun, tell jokes, but just take a minute on that day, and maybe, whenever, and think about the sacrifice, but don't let that stop you from enjoying that life that they fought for, I fought for, they died for. So, it's okay to have a good time and enjoy America. It's the greatest country in the world.
Michael, you've become you're known very much as a huge advocate for veterans. What was there a specific moment or experience that pushed that mission? And I'm guessing maybe when you came back. And thank you so much for your service and dedication to this ride every year, because that's amazing. 43 years to me, amazing. And I wow, I'm just in awe.
I love the people of South Vietnam. The picture you have there is when I'm with these two parents, these Vietnamese parents, and their children who were born here. They were from Vietnam. They fought and sacrificed, and they saw. We abandoned those people, and we never should have. I don't want to get into politics of why we were there, right, wrong, and different. When we were there, I saw what we did to save those farmers, those people who were working the rice crops and had all their food taken by the North Vietnamese. So when I see these people here with these kids, I signed this one kid's shirt. And I wrote, "You're a great American." I want those kids to know how much I appreciate that they're here, that they're as American as my grandkids. It's awesome. So, but the moment that I
gentlemen, we are going to take a really quick break. I want to say hello to some folks that are listening. Jason Barr, thank you so much for joining us. Bill Murray, thank you so much. Laura, thank you. As well as Natalie. Wayne Burgess, Scott Rehack, thank you guys so much. Please give it a like, give it a share. That's how we're able to bring you these great stories and real life, real talk, motorcycle stories and motorcycle culture. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after these messages.
Products fix problems, Andrews solves them. With nearly 50 years of passion, precision, and high performance, Andrews Products changes the world of motorsports. Engineered and manufactured in-house, Andrews excels by using aircraft steel, then machining to the closest industry tolerances. If you need powerful cams, gears, and transmissions for your ride that are proudly made in America, use Andrews Products. Contact AndrewsProducts.com or call our tech line Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 at 847-759-0190.
How you doing? Big Andy, Illinois Fallen Biker. Most of you know me from my Facebook page or our website. There's a lot of things that we do for bikers who have fallen and their families. But the biggest and most important thing we do is we can provide you with representation after your fall, after your crash. We work with and are friends with Larry Disparti of Disparti Law. He has offices here in Chicago and Florida. I ain't gonna play no games. Get a hold of me. We'll talk directly with Larry and get your situation situated properly right away. Big Andy, Illinois Fallen Biker. I appreciate your time.
This isn't a sit quiet movie night. This is bikes, film, art, and real road culture. Join Gina Woods for Motorcycle Movie Night at the St. Charles Motorcycle Museum and Art Gallery in St. Charles, Illinois. Kicking off Wednesday, February 11th, 25th, and rolling every Wednesday from 6 to 9 p.m. We're bringing you iconic motorcycle films, cult classics, stories built on horsepower, rebellion, and the open road. And we'll throw in some free swag and motorcycle trivia to win prizes. All surrounded by legendary bikes and killer artwork. Come early, walk the gallery, grab a drink and eats, talk bikes, and settle in. Space is limited, so don't roll in late. Motorcycle Movie Night is proudly supported by our local sponsors and partners who keep the culture alive. Motorcycle Movie Night, every other Wednesday, 6 to 9 p.m. at the St. Charles Motorcycle Museum and Art Gallery at 1317 East Main Street in St. Charles, Illinois. This is where bikers watch movies.